Welcome, everyone, to the fourth installment of the Based GigaCast, featuring our friend, compatriot, and Based GigaChad, Jason Bourne, from our project and many other meta projects. Jason, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Good to have you here, brother.
Good to be here. Good to be here.
So I have Jonathan and Jake here today.
How's it going?
What's going on, guys?
What's up? So, Jason, tell us a little bit about the different projects that you've been into, and how you got started with Based GigaChad, and just kind of what your journey's been like so far.
Well, just a quick rundown. I've this is my first cycle really getting into meme coins. I wasn't really trading anything but stuff you can find on Coinbase for a while, and so yeah, my daughter's over here asking me what I'm doing,
which can be quite lucrative in and of itself, but yeah.
Right, but so yeah, and so after that, I started trading base coins because I frequent 4chan and their business and finance board, and I started seeing a lot of base stuff pop up, and I made a decent amount of money on base, and then I started just hooking up with different guys in different private chats, and met a bunch of really amazing people here on Telegram that just do really great work. And artists and web designers, and we just all get together as a team and try to make quality coins. We've made stuff on Base, we've made stuff on Solana, Inc, Ethereum. Right now a lot of us are just kind of locked in on trading, not doing any more new projects because it's just getting crazy out here. The market's so unpredictable.
Oh yeah, a lot of volatility. What's the
Inc
ecosystem like?
Your group
go ahead.
Because I know you had, when Based Giga was, I guess, being CTO'd, I guess we were part of the second wave that was CTOing Based Giga. It was kind of a little bit chaotic, and just everyone was kind of talking about things. Just a lot of like I was saying, chaos. But we had someone who was trying to get a website going, and that was something that kind of took a little bit of time. It was like a week.
Yeah, that was my guy. That was one of the guys I was talking about. That is part of the team. Where we launched a bunch of coins. Good is his screen name. Yeah,
that's my buddy. Going to try and see the website, and he wasn't. His guy wasn't getting a website, and then you're like, well, I know someone. Let me take a crack at it, and within like 24 hours, not even 24 hours.
Like 15 hours.
Cool.
Yeah, he scraped that one together quick, dude, and because he already did like a GigaChad, I guess, website for some other coin, and he's like, oh yeah, I can just change over some of the info to Base, and then I chose the song for him to play on it, which I still think is a banger.
It is.
And yeah, it was a great site. And that was just like some of his quick work. I mean, I've seen him do some really, creative sites before. So, I mean, yeah, he's a good guy. And yeah, I mean, I really liked this coin. I really liked GigaChad. It was a huge, hole in the market for a base GigaChad, and as soon as I made that chat and invited all you guys, everybody just kind of pitched in, and it gave me early Base vibes, when I first started, really getting involved on teams of coins, like CTOs. It gave me the early vibes, and I was like, you just had so much energy, and I loved it.
Yeah, it was a good time for sure.
I still think that I still got high hopes for Base Giga. I mean, you guys have been rocking it this whole time, dude, and that takes a lot, because you get demoralized after a while. I mean, you just do. When you're the only
time and energy.
Well, I had a coin on Inc. that it was basically everybody pitched in to do, like, I had a good artist there. And when everything happened, like, almost everybody on the team except for my buddy the artist, like, kind of abandoned this, and I was literally doing raids. I was doing raids, and I was finishing off the. I mean, I was the only one raiding with like 5 different accounts for like 2 weeks, you know. And I was like, man, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing how people come and go, like just how short-sighted and fickle people are. Like they're just so quick to try to chase like the next thing instead of putting in work to something. But it's kind of like people are like that in real life too, you know, just like want a quick buck or want a quick fix or easy button for something, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you guys did a lot with Giga after I kind of ghosted, which I only did because I could only take it so far. I didn't have the funds to keep going, you know, doing a bunch of other stuff. And I got busy with other projects, obviously, too. But when I came back, you guys had the bot going with the meme maker and all that. I mean, that was awesome to see.
Insert the Greta Thunberg meme. How dare you? Yeah, that little girl on climate change.
Oh yeah.
How dare you? So what's the Inca universe like? I never popped in there. I'm not on Kraken, so like I didn't really.
Well,
you know,
it's just, I mean, I just heard about it through some other guys that I trade with and that I know on Telegram, and then we started making stuff on Squid Pump, and we got in pretty good with the Squid Pump dev, you know, and we thought he was a decent guy. He ended up rugging the project, and screwed a lot of people. Yeah, but I mean, I had a blast on Ink. I made some decent money, and but it's dead now. Like, honestly, you're not. Because Kraken never put in any marketing, and they never pushed it, so it's kind of dead. I'm not even. Another one that I was trading on was Sui, and I still own a decent amount of Sui. I think it's a good project. I think it's going to go, you know, much higher. And,
I think it makes a lot of sense. The chart looks good. It's like a big long stair step, you know, higher highs and higher lows.
Oh man, and Sui is, you know, they're trying to wrangle the Web3 gaming, you know, thing. Like, you know, they've got a lot of stuff that's integrated into their chain that's specifically for gaming, like their NFTs and stuff like that. Like, it's really interesting. It's going to be, and they made a deal with Pokemon, you know, so I mean, they're legit if they're making deals with Pokemon. Yeah,
I saw that. That was interesting.
Huge. That's huge.
There's a ton of advertising that I've seen. I haven't seen any other coin necessarily advertising the same way. They're on like UFC, like pads and everything inside of their cages. Like I've never seen crypto stuff over there.
Oh yeah, there has been. Too. I think Crypto.com did some ads with some of the fighters, like wearing their
all right, logo. I take it all.
I remember too. Like I watch a lot of MotoGP, and you can see it also on Formula One. But on MotoGP, I remember seeing one of the guys. He's a factory Yamaha rider. He was a champ in I think 2020, the world champion, Fabio Quartararo, French guy. But he had a Phantom like thing on his helmet for multiple years. And I was like, I was looking at it, and I was like, I should probably buy some of this when it was just absolutely beaten down into the dirt. And I'm like, and then I never did. And then it, you know, went up, you know, 12x or something.
Yeah. Have you guys heard of KETA? KTA is the ticker.
Yeah,
it's a base coin.
A fat bag at like 29 or something.
No,
whatever.
Oh yeah, you were the one telling me that. Okay, yeah, I got in at like freaking maybe 59 or 69 or something. I don't know, but it wasn't that low. But I'm hearing really good things about it, so we'll see.
It has the hype train that's going behind it that I think it could end up being a good one. You know, people are like, well, what does it do? And I'm like, the same thing that Sui does. Promises a shitload of transactions and blah, 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 just like everything else, you know. We'll see. Yeah. As long as we don't get rugged.
I mean, it's got some solid people on the team, like one, you know, somebody from Google or something. I don't remember exactly. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no,
So
100%. Yeah, like some ex-CEO of Google or some crazy thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't pay a lot of attention to that shit 'cause, like, I just kind of focus on the chart technicals, but yeah.
right.
When it was
I don't
breaking
know.
out from its consolidation, I'm like, fuck it. Throw a few shekels in here and see what happens.
I'm not a TA guy. I can't really. I don't know. It doesn't speak to me like that. But I will follow some hype shit. Yeah,
Well, sure.
like when I start
Momentum is
seeing
momentum,
people,
right?
right, and so at some point you got to admit it's a little bit like gambling, So
Oh,
you got to
totally.
throw
I
your
think
bet in sometimes.
it's kind of like, yeah, I mean, it's like if you've got, I don't know, Queen Jack suited or something, that's going to pan out better than like, seven deuce offsuit, right? Like all, as a
Yeah.
generality. So you play the odds and stuff, and I mean, I've been learning a lot. Donathan has too. He and I have both been going down a similar road in terms of like TA study, and it's pretty interesting to see. Like it is obviously there's witchcraft involved, right? And there's a lot of luck, and there's some gambling involved, but you can definitely skew it in your favor and really skew the odds, especially with volume. Like I never understood volume before, and it's only been in the last few months that I've really understood just how important volume is. So
Yeah,
it's
the
like,
only
okay, here's a
reason
chart
that I
pattern.
switched to Solana is because that's where the volume is.
Yeah.
Like I hated Solana and I didn't want to start trading on it. But I mean, dude, at some point you got to be like, oh, well, if you want to make money, you're going to have to go where everybody else is.
It's had a hell of a
for
comeback.
sure. For sure.
But hey, listen,
It's
guys,
definitely more risky with it, but super quick turnarounds for those pumps.
Yeah,
hey guys, I wish I could stay. I wish I could stay longer, but I do got to check out. I got to help my wife put these kids to bed.
It's all good, brother.
Thanks for
Yeah, dude. Thanks for having me.
The quick visit.
Yeah, for sure. I'll pop in again anytime, man. Anytime you guys want me on, I'll come back.
Hey, check out Bucci on ETH also. It's a new Matt Fury thing that could possibly do something.
Ooh, gotta send that link.
Yeah, send me a link. Put it in the chat.
Okay, I'll pop it in.
All right, brother.
Later.
Good night, guys.
All right. All right, let's see here. Let me get this.
So I got a question. You were talking about volume and all. You was talking about volume, and you mentioned, I don't know, it sounded like you were doing some stuff on Solana, Jake. Have you looked into Sonic and all of the volume going there?
Honestly, volume, it kind of scares me, and it's not like it's a bad thing, but I don't know. I've seen a few too many people I personally know lose really, really big bags, and I've lost what some people would call big bags. So I avoid Solana. But I will say this. I was actually going to bring this up. I'm not sure if you guys have sniffled around out in Abstract or heard about it, but...
Well, Z was talking about it in the chat.
Yeah, that's kind of where I've been hanging out. It's a lot more family-friendly, and obviously PvP is inevitable, and it is already starting to come to the chain. But, I came here about 2 weeks ago, and I think it's just that weird mini-cycle where everything kind of goes stale and PvP happens. But it's like, it feels new, so new, and it reminds me of the early days of Based Chain. And I know we're Based GigaChad, and I only have like 2 tokens actually right now. There's 3. I only hold 3 tokens on Base Giga being one of them. But it's a weird pattern that I'm seeing with the early days of Base Chain. There's a whole streaming service that's already connected into the wallet.
Oh, interesting.
Streamers with crypto right away. It's pretty unique. It's made by Pudgy Penguins. And, it's kind of like me fading Brett when I first saw it at 20 mil. And I think there's a Brett over on that chain. So, NFA, DYOR, but
interesting.
It's blowing
how does
up.
One purchase this?
It's bridged. You can bridge it through, BaseBot or Relay. But yeah, BaseBot's actually, they're on it too. They released Abstract Chain about 3 weeks ago. That's kind of what brought me over.
So best way to get fiat into Abstract would be
ETH, yeah, just bridge over ETH. Base ETH bridges
Gotcha.
over just fine.
Okay. Interesting.
Normal ETH, yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. Find the meta, obviously, and I'm always around. If any of our listeners are interested as well, you can find me in the Based GigaChad Telegram, and I'll tell you what I think. The big hitters are. Obviously, there's Abster, which is claiming to be the mascot of the chain. It's an unofficial official mascot, and that's kind of how Brett was before it took its 3 billion run. So,
sure.
$50 in it right now could get you really started in finding a different coin later on to hold a bigger position in.
That makes sense. I snagged some Bucci earlier. It was at, I think, 4 million market cap. I think it's at 9 right now. And,
Shit. Okay.
Yeah, it popped off. Like one of the guys that I know from the private chat was talking about it. I think like 500,000 or 700,000 or something. And I was like, nah, whatever. And then I didn't really pay much attention. And then this morning I looked at the chart and I was like, oh, well,
Damn.
fuck it, might as well try it. It's like another Matt Fury play. Apparently Matt Fury changed his PFP to the Bucci like logo earlier, which is obviously a big endorsement in a way, right?
Yeah.
But I guess he's got some new work coming out that is going to
book.
feature. Yeah, so it's going to feature this character. It's like a skull. Like, you familiar with Mallrats at all? The movie Mallrats by Kevin Smith?
Oh, dude, I've been trying to get my fiance to start watching the whole series with me. It's a hard one to
Classic.
Yeah,
but yeah, you gotta love dialogue, right? And I mean, nobody does dialogue better, I think, really. Well, maybe a couple people, but than Kevin Smith. But yeah, so Snoochie Boochies, right? So Bucci is essentially, it appears to be a joint smoking skeleton head man of some sort. So in typical Matt Fury fashion, slightly unhinged artwork. But yeah, hopefully it goes bananas.
Nice. That's over on mainnet?
Yeah, it's on mainnet.
Yeah, mainnet is, God, it's, Father ETH, right? It can move really far, actually farther than anything else, right?
Yeah. Transaction fees keep out like some of the weird tiny shit.
Didn't they stop that recently? I haven't
What, transaction fees?
Well, it's still there, but I heard it was like really comparable to Base Chain.
Oh.
I heard it got dropped
a huge
to
difference.
Pennies.
Well, that was probably part of Petra, the newest, what is it, EIP?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Petra or whatever it was.
I need to do some more research on mainnet. It's playing around in all these layer 2s. It's kind of weird because you kind of almost forget that you're dependent on updates in code from ETH mainnet, right?
Sure. Right. Yeah. The base chain or the layer 0 or whatever you want to think of it is still very much important.
Yeah, Abstract. It was like last Friday that they finally got approved by Ethereum to do like full EVM transactions and like code and contract. So they finally kind of got unlocked per se to go fully integrated. So now builders can, fully integrate apps and stuff like that. So it's a weird process. Exciting. And yeah, as I learn more about all of the blockchain and coding particularly, it's weird how they all connect. They're different chains, but they're all connected.
Sure. Yeah, different. It's just like the world speaking different languages in a way.
Yep.
Jonathan, have you checked out Abstract yet at all?
I'm actually trying to read about it as you guys are talking because I have not done any looking into it.
I feel bad. I should have, because he was like, yo, you should check this out, like, I don't know, 3 weeks ago or something. It's just, but it's one of those things where, you know, you only have so much bandwidth, you know? And it's hard to
100%.
want to, like, jump on a brand new thing and figure it out. It's like when you're trying to juggle, you're already like 7 plates deep on the juggling act, you know?
100%. No, I definitely understand that. That's kind of why it was like with the whole ETH crash and, you know, everybody's bags crashing, I kind of just took a little break, and I didn't really get back into even thinking about trading. I bought ETH whenever, you know, it hit my markers, but that was about all I did as far as buying.
It goes down
especially during
deep
that
enough,
crash.
hits 1,800 bucks, you're like, fucking load it up.
Yeah. It
Or
was
whatever your
18,
number
16, 15. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'll keep buying because I know ETH comes back. That's guaranteed, you know?
Yeah, I agree, dude. A lot of people are like, "That's not guaranteed." It's like, dude, it's literally like
It's
it's really closer to digital silver than Litecoin ever was, if you think about it,
Yeah, for sure.
or something,
yes.
you know,
So it was kind of like
digital
you know,
gasoline, digital
yeah,
crude oil.
right. Light it on fire, basically. But yeah, it was kind of just a fresh start. It was nice to get away from, you know, bases. I love base, don't get me wrong, but base is definitely very culty at this age because it's like big enough where there's a lot of people, but it's not so big that things can send past, in my opinion, the cabals, cobals, whatever you call it.
Yeah, cabals or whatever.
Yeah, cabal, there you go. So it's kind of like it's a weird ecosystem, and it will grow past it, but it's kind of like ETH early days, right? Like there's just people who try to control what's going on, it feels like. But Abster, you know, it was fresh, so it was like, okay, I feel like maybe there might be something there.
It's always worth taking a gamble on a fresh meta, honestly, because like those emerging markets are where some just insane percentage rallies come from. It's always worth a shot, in my opinion.
100%. So what about Sonic?
Man, I wish Jason was still here to talk about ink then.
Well, I mean, it was worth a shot for a certain number of weeks, at least.
That's true.
Weren't you playing around on Sonic a little bit, Jonathan?
I did a little bit of it, not really too much. I actually did bridge some to ink and was playing around with that for a little bit, and got burned a couple times. It was like, screw this, I'm out. But
yeah,
I haven't really done much on Sonic itself. I know there's a couple ones that were flying, but not really in depth. I'm not a fundamentals kind of guy, so I don't really understand a whole lot of this, to be honest.
Yeah, I feel that. And it's each chain, as I'm learning, is definitely like they have their own types of meta. Certain things will send, you know, you could have the same token, same website. Not saying anyone should ever do this. This is wrong. But, you know, put them on 2 different blockchains, and like depending on the meme, one will send further, I think. Obviously,
definitely,
and stuff like that, but yeah, it's a weird ecosystem for sure.
You see that with Solana a lot. Something will send on Solana, and then they'll try to like do the same thing on mainnet or something on ETH, and it just doesn't do anything.
Yeah, or vice versa. I remember Milk Road got ripped over to Solana, and it flopped like off the rip. So you never know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe just because it's kind of, I mean, I would say Milk is kind of like an interesting, sort of like a Pepe derivative, right? In a way.
Yes, for sure. And that's what we tried to make it.
So I think that makes sense.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
Pepe is such an ETH,
not really sending over there, yeah.
Figurehead in a way, right?
For sure. It's more focused on ETH.
Yeah. I do like mainnet for certain things. I like the fact that it's just, I feel like people on mainnet are more likely to hold for whatever reason.
It's that gas fee. I think it's that gas.
Yeah.
So say you're the
you got more
new
OGs
trader.
Like, oh, I'll throw $2,500 at this, and other people on like base are like, what? I'm throwing
Oh,
$25 at it, and I'm jeeting at $75. Like,
for sure, for sure. And even the small buys, though, I think this is where it really helps the ETH ecosystem. Because say you got $50, and this is in the past, like it would cost me, especially during high gas, $20 to put in $50
oh,
on
dude, yeah.
one buy, right? So now I have to make
You have to make
over
it worthwhile.
70, yeah, just to break even because I'm
Yeah.
paying gas to get out. So
Sure.
most people hold until at least a double, and on base you see those people throwing in 1,000, taking out 1,100 in 10 minutes, and they're happy.
Yeah, exactly. I remember, I mean, this has been a couple of years ago now, but we were chatting on into the cryptoverse, like the kind of the degen chat. And people were like complaining about ETH gas fees, like, oh, I'm trying to buy this, but it's $100 and the gas fee's like $40. I'm like, well, I mean, no offense, but you should probably be trying to buy $1,000 worth. Like your gas fee is going to be the same amount no matter what.
Regardless, yeah.
Yeah, like that, and that's what's interesting. And people don't understand that it doesn't scale with the amount of money. It doesn't. That has nothing to do with it. It's just like to get any transaction done. It's like a stamp. Think about it as like a stamp. You can send a letter that has one word or a billion words, and it's going to cost the same amount to put a fucking stamp on the envelope.
Yeah,
and it's like,
that's funny.
so just do as much as you can. Like if you have conviction in this, like send it with as much as you can in one go to save yourself. Yeah,
that's the thing, though. It's a lot of people just new to crypto would never, or they've never fathomed putting in that much on a gamble.
Well,
right?
I mean, to me, it sounds very, very similar. I never did it, but from reading a lot of, old stock traders, it sounds very, very similar to how expensive it was with all the brokerage fees of just trying to make a simple buy. I don't know, 50, or maybe 50. I don't know. Like I said, I wasn't stock trading 50 years ago, but my understanding is with the introduction to a lot of, personal computers and all of that, we've drastically reduced the amount of money to actually make these purchases. So I kind of see mainnet ETH as a very similar situation.
No, that makes sense, actually.
yeah, for sure.
It's almost more serious when you go there.
Yeah,
Almost.
like
There's still memes
like
in
accredited
churches, but-
investors.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, that's what's
It's like
interesting too. Like
when you got
seeing that.
10K
Right, exactly. If
to
you don't
throw
have
on
this much
chain,
money,
right?
get the
Yeah,
fuck
you
out.
go there. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of how it is, though, right?
Yeah, that's kind of one of the things I like about it. Is it just sort of keeps out the people that are, like as Forge
The
likes to say,
riffraff.
like cheating for a fucking burger meal.
Oh, man.
Speaking of which, we got to get Forged in here.
For sure.
I've talked to him a couple
For
times.
sure. I'll bug him. I haven't talked to him in a while. I hope he's doing well.
Yeah. But yeah, Jonathan, to your point, and that's part of not only technological advancement, but also the free market, right? So as different options open up, I remember, I don't even remember that it was E-Trade or something like that. This is probably 10, 15 years ago, maybe more. On the heels of the dot-com bubble, essentially, all these people were like, I'm a fucking genius. It was the everybody's a genius phase for all of the American stock market in a way. And so all these people quit their jobs and became day traders. And then, 90% of them got fucking absolutely washed, which is normal. That makes sense because they thought they were geniuses because anything with the dot-com after it, they could buy it. And it went up, 100% in a month or something. But then so you had E-Trade and all these other fucking things, and it was like, make a trade for $1 or whatever the fuck it was. And so these fees, just because, like you said, it's personal computers, the internet, this and that, all these things opened up, and it opened all these doors for competition, and it drove the prices down to where now everything is, it's like, well, anybody can now do this. You don't have to know a guy. You don't have to pay a ton of money in brokerage fees. You can just do it from home, and it costs you $10 a month or whatever, And that's what you're seeing, I think, too, with layer 2s and 3s now. like base and otherwise, you know. The thing I
Speaking
didn't
of that
understand
point,
about it. Oh, go ahead.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't crypto pretty much directly influence money sharing, or was that more like Venmo, like and Zelle, all of that? In my mind, that stuff came after crypto had its big time in the sun, where everyone actually understood. Oh, you can do $1 million with just 25 cents in Litecoin or something. I remember that being some headline, and some guy moved like millions of dollars in Litecoin for 25 cents. And if you did a wire transfer in the bank, you
Would have
couldn't
been
do
a
that.
3% fee or whatever.
Yeah.
That's a good point, dude. I hadn't really thought about that, but yeah, I think you're right.
Cash App, Venmo, they came out like kind of after that wave. I know that was one of Coinbase's like leading. It still is, if I'm not mistaken. Just like leading pitch is the cost of transaction, ease of transaction. But man, those early Coinbase YouTube commercials were just crazy to see.
Yeah. It looks like Z is
Don't
joined
know what
us.
you're talking about. You have to look those up.
I am lurking, my friend.
What's up, brother?
So,
What are you doing?
You know, same old. Just chilling. Got a little sinus infection, so I'm just sitting back and listening.
Womp womp. I've heard that from a few people recently. Must be
Yeah,
something going down over in y'all's neck of the woods.
that's that good California air.
quality.
Well, only a touch of smog today.
Nah, not too bad. Just a lot of shit in the air. Who knows?
Yeah.
So how we doing on the gardens, guys? Are we doing good?
Yeah, good, man. As far as my mom is concerned, I planted everything way too early, but it's thriving. I've got a little tomato popping on one of my plants, on my San Marzano, and all my my cucumber plants are thriving, so I'm stoked.
Dude, I
Nice.
should have started goddamn maybe February. Yeah, I feel like I started late this year. I normally start usually around March, kind of about the same time I did this year, but I don't know, dude. We already hit 104. I'm going to have to...
Holy shit!
Yeah, in May. This is like one of the hottest days in May. So I'm like, we had a plentiful harvest. I had a bunch of blackberries. It's actually my first year for blackberries. So
Nice!
Excited about that for sure. I remember...
You already got to harvest blackberries?
Yeah, it was. We got. I bought them
early.
from a buddy. He's got a little mini farm, and he snipped off and then replanted. So it was like, what is it? Blanking
Clones,
right now.
baby.
Yeah, it's basically a clone. There's a better word for it, aerate or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we threw those down last year, and I heard it takes about 2 years. Even on clones, it could take about 2 years, but. Dude, I mean, I was giving them, I got worm castings, I compost all my chicken shit, right? And put it in, mix it down, and mix that with some store-bought, because I don't want to add too much nitrogen. But, I feel like I treated them right, and damn, dude, like, they're, 8 feet. Yeah, 8 feet tall.
Holy shit.
I'm having to, I put them by my fence, so they would weave through the fence, but
yeah,
some of it's breaking away. Some of those zip tie it to it, help it, train a little more.
Do you know what varieties they are?
They're thornless. They're thornless blackberries. That's the most I remember. So that was important.
Trellis those. Way less work. Use that fence.
Yep. Make it easy to harvest.
For sure.
I was like trying to go, with the hoe and clean up the area around it, and I was ripping out all these little trailers coming out. I didn't realize how bad they actually spread. I think, Willie, you mentioned they spread bad last time, or maybe.
Oh, dude, like wildfire, brother.
Yeah, and I'm ready for it. I mean, I wouldn't mind a whole acre taking over. We'll have more wildlife here, but
well,
I
it's
got
cool
the
too. You
space,
can like machete like a fucking maze through them and stuff. It's kind of fun.
Okay, yeah.
Ours are like super thorny. Well, the ones that we got two types that are native. So we have Himalaya blackberries and we have evergreens. Evergreens are really seedy and shitty, so I just absolutely destroy them every time I see them. But Himalayas are like, they are, I mean, they got gnarly thorns, but holy shit, the berries are phenomenal. In my opinion. I mean, they're
Are
like,
they real big? This is the first
yeah, they're
time
big.
I've, like picked blackberries, and they are probably 2 times the store-bought size. So I was really interested, I thought that was interesting.
Oh, badass. Whatever variety you got sounds like a winner. Thornless and huge. Like, what's the flavor like?
It's tart. It's tart. I definitely like blackberries cooked down into a pie or a jam or something. But yeah, a lot of flavor to them.
They're tart? Interesting. So like our Himalayas, our Himalayas don't actually set until quite a bit later, natively. So like we'll get them in like late summer.
What degree do you think it is? I guess what degree is it for you right now? Average.
Oh, temperature-wise?
Yeah.
So we've been seeing probably, I would say, on average, I would say mid-60s in the last couple weeks.
Oh my gosh, that is night and day difference.
Yeah, huge.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. Does that sound right, baby? Mid-60s? Last couple weeks? Yeah, something like that. I mean, we've had some 72, 75 degree days, but,
yeah,
we've had a couple days that are like 58,
Wow. Yeah, I wonder if it's due to the heat.
I'm sure. I'm sure that's it, because they don't really pop off and start to ripen until like late summer, But I would say, I don't know, they're probably like, the bigger berries are probably like 1 inch by 1.5 inches, I would say.
Yeah, those are nice.
Yeah, it's about the size we're bringing in. It's just a store.
Yeah, they're solid.
They're like, 1 inch max, under 1 inch usually.
Yeah. But like if they get that dark color, like it's interesting that you said yours are tart. I wonder what variety they are, because like ours are really, when they ripen properly, like when they ripen to where when you go to pick them, they just kind of like pop off the stem, you know what I mean? Like they have that, they're just ready to roll.
Like hardens up right there, and then you can just pull them.
Yeah, right. They're very sweet and mild, good flavor, but like mild tartness, mild acidity. So that's interesting. Maybe it could be a shorter growing season, like a more intense heat for yours.
Yeah.
Interesting.
My buddy, the guy I got them from, he said they'll go, July to August for us if you treat them right.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. I'm interested. I'm really excited for next year. I heard the next year after the first year is always 2 to 3 times more.
Yeah, exactly. And they set just tons of fruit.
Yeah.
Pop some pictures of them in the chat. I want to see what the leaf and everything looks like compared to ours.
Yeah.
Whenever you have a chance.
Yeah, next time I go out, it's dark now, but yeah, tomorrow morning when I'm watering.
Yeah, hell yeah. What about you, Don? How's your garden going, brother?
Well, could be better. I was going least effort I could possibly do.
Right.
Got some unfortunate news that all my irrigation that I spent so much time working on is probably not gonna last. Apparently, I got too much iron in the water, so it's gonna gunk up all of the irrigation tubings and all of the micro tubing within a month or a couple months. So I got that to look forward to.
Do you have individual emitters, or are you running like a drip line where like there's emitters embedded in the poly?
No, I poked out different micro tubing and kind of lead it to the use a 1/4 inch micro tubing and lead it to the plant. So
individual. Okay, so you're running like a 2-gallon emitter.
Yeah,
or something like that at the end of that.
Yeah, I had that. I got some in some area. I have some sprays just to try some things out, but the sprays are a little bit. I'm already starting to see issues with the iron kind of blocking it. You have to go and just twist it a little bit, and then it it frees up. So I'm like, okay, well, this
Yep.
isn't going to work.
Yeah, the
So-
micro sprayers will fuck you with hard water because we have pretty hard water too. We've got a lot of iron. The drippers probably will be okay, and you can get some other ones like turbulent flow, and like there's different types of emitters. Also, some you can like unscrew them and clean them out and stuff. But nothing should really plug up that 1/4-inch line like that. The emitter, yeah, perhaps, but I bet you'll be all right if you eliminate those sprayers. those will fuck you.
Oh yeah, that was
I'm-
one of my mistakes. First time I tried to automate the irrigation as well. It lasted about 4 months. We got some pretty hard water, and then all of them
Yeah.
were just shot. I was
I
looking
used to
Other
do
than
at
that, I got my mulberry tree's giving me some mulberries. That's nice.
nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Now, that's pretty similar, right? Mulberry is kind of almost like a cross between a blackberry and a raspberry, or am I thinking of something else?
No.
They're appley,
I
right?
don't think so. What'd you say?
They're kind of appley.
It's a pretty decently big tree, but they're little tiny things, like probably smaller or about the size of your pinky nail. Little tiny guys. They're not sweet.
wow.
They're not really tart. Just kind of exist and have a good flavor. So those are ones you can like eat by the handful and not get sick of. So I'm
Oh,
a
nice.
huge fan of them.
Nice.
It's actually the only fruit that my wife will eat and enjoy. She doesn't really like fruit, but she loves
Really?
mulberries.
If you had to like liken them to something else, what would be the closest similar thing? 'Cause I don't think I've ever had a mulberry.
Definitely have a berry flavor. I would say, personally, probably like a nice blueberry where it's not too tart or sweet. 'Cause some
Okay.
blueberries can be just watery, just
Sure,
Aren't they
exist.
kind of crispy though? They have like a crispier flesh.
I don't think so.
Kind of
Okay,
crunchy.
maybe I'm thinking of something else.
Yeah, I mean they
I can't
look
wait
like
for my
tiny.
frickin'
They look
kiwi
like
to
tiny
grow, dude.
blackberries, so they got a similar-ish texture.
Huh,
No,
I
I
get what
don't
you're
even
saying.
want to say texture because blackberries, their little nodules are a lot bigger and rounder, so it feels different. I don't know. They're like shriveled up, tiny shriveled up.
We got
Raisins,
computers
juicy
right here.
raisins.
I'm
I would say
looking this
that's
up.
their texture.
Mulberry tree. Oh, they do look like blackberries. Yeah, I was not thinking of this at all. That's crazy. And it's a tree, you said?
Yeah, they grow pretty fast too.
Wow, might have to pick one up. Let's see, let's see.
There's an ever-bearing mulberry that will give
year round.
Yeah, give year round, and it's
Wow.
insane amounts once you get a fully
Wow.
mature tree.
Yeah.
Like insane.
Apparently they're good around here. I might have to check one out. Y'all ever had what is it? Prickly pear?
Yes, I have. I'm not a huge fan of it. I've had
It by itself is definitely, it's one of those ones. I'm not a huge fan either, but the jam from it, oh man. It's kind of like cotton candy.
Oh, interesting.
you sold me.
Yeah, no,
I'm
it's
sold.
it's one of a kind for sure.
Dude,
I have-
mulberries are wild looking.
They are, right? Long blackberries. I
Yeah,
see
they
some
look
that are
a lot like a
long.
blackberry, but I understand that it's a tree versus a vine. They're very, very different. I'm sure they have a different flavor, but man, fuck, they look just like a big ass blackberry with tiny little like
Take
juice nodules.
a look at a Pakistani mulberry.
Is that what
You
you
got
got?
them Indian plants that you were lamenting.
No, I don't
Like
have
every
those.
Indian
But
variety of
just-
anything I've ever bought, it sucks.
Just
Dude, these things produce
look at them.
fruit.
They
bro.
look so weird.
These things produce fruit up the freaking dam.
Hey, not to change the
Another-
subject or anything, but man, did you guys see the fact that we almost closed Bitcoin at 110?
That was crazy.
That's crazy. That was good
I
stuff.
don't even know what it means. Yeah.
Dude,
I mean, I'm
nobody
hoping.
cares. That's what's fucking crazy. Nobody gives a fuck.
That's a good sign. That's
We're
a
at
good sign.
109,884 right now. I'm just
We're
looking at.
supposed to climb in the quiet.
It's the best.
It's the best for sure.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, a new all-time high. Nobody's around. There's just crickets. And then it's like, oh, once we hit like 137 or something, everyone's going to be like, oh shit, I guess I should probably buy some of this. What's really interesting to see is the division from like what we would consider retail and what we would consider like institutional. You're starting to see nation states and institutional investors and companies putting Bitcoin on their balance sheet.
Yep.
And nobody, like all of my friends that have like $2,500 in the bank, don't care. Like
Nope.
that is a huge disparity of attention that at some point will have to get situated. As our friend
it's
Tony 100X says, aggressively repriced.
Oh, for sure.
It's one of his favorite sayings, and I actually really like it because it makes sense. You'll see all of a sudden something melts up, and it's like, what's happening? It's being aggressively repriced as a wave of investors from one sector or another understand the utility of something, and all of a sudden go, oh fuck, we're behind. And then it's like at that point, then whatever price it starts, the aggressive repricing starts at, it's like, a lot of times that's kind of never seen again, which who knows, for Bitcoin could end up being $100,000 or something.
What a trip.
Yeah. I can't believe that no one cares right now. It's bananas to me. My old boss called me and he was like, hey, do you want to come back to work? I'm like, no, man, I'm good. He's like, oh, I don't know. Bitcoin's not doing too good. I'm like, it just had its highest daily close ever. He's like, oh, fuck. He's like, I don't pay attention. I was just bluffing.
Nah, yeah, it's a weird point. It's like almost now it's burned into all the people who don't care about crypto's head, because like you talk to them, they're like, oh, I thought it was at 100K. So it's like they're just I don't know. It's a weird concept for them because they don't watch the charts, they don't care, so they're assuming
Sure.
only up, right? So when they hear down, or if they come to talk to you again, say 3 months later and it's not really moved, they're like, what the fuck?
Sure. Or like they, in my circles, a lot of those people are very much like, oh, well, the last I saw it was at like 64 grand. And so I figured it was just going down a lot. It's like, well,
yeah, they don't check it again.
right. But yeah, for sure. And I mean, I can understand that. Like, I don't know, a lot of people still think that there's a lot of scam shit happening and da-da-da. I mean, eventually we want, I think, mass quantities of people to capitulate much higher, right?
For
Because
sure.
that creates like an insane floor at a high level, at a high valuation, But yeah, it's insane. I think also there's a little bit of like the sour grapes mentality. Are you familiar with like the fox and the sour grapes?
No.
So it's an old
Never
like
heard that
parable, right? I assume you're familiar with the like parables, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's an old parable, right? So basically, long story short, TLDR is this fox wants to get these grapes, and no matter how hard he tries, he can't get them. He's jumping as high as he can. The grapes are up on this vine that's hanging off this tree limb or whatever, and he's like, oh, those grapes look so delicious and sweet and juicy, and he can't get them, or he fucks off, and then he comes back later, whatever happens. Point being, at the end, he's like, fuck those grapes. I bet they're sour anyway. Right? So,
for sure.
I made this analogy to someone in another chat the other day, and it was about KETA, about KTA, and they were like, oh yeah, whatever, like it's probably just some bullshit, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, hey man, be careful not to embody the sour grapes, kind of deal. And then they're like, oh yeah, I'm just like looking at the chart and it seems extended. And I'm like, that's cool. Like, no big deal. And then later on, someone else mentioned Kita and like how all these people were like bull posting about Kita. And then this person's like, oh, their bags probably aren't even that big. And so then I went and like found a meme creator, and I created a meme of like the sour grapes and the fox. And the sour grapes were like other people's, like the grapes themselves were other people's Kita bags, and then the fox like had a little thing next to him like, I bet they aren't even that big.
Yeah.
So it's like I bet they're sour cool. Anyway. And it's the same thing with Bitcoin, right? People are like, oh, I missed it. It's already $100,000. Like, I missed it. Like, now what am I going to do? It's like, but what?
It's a 10x waiting.
Yeah, like, what about when it's $1 million a coin, bro? There's only 21 million of these motherfuckers out there. Like, it's a, why do you keep thinking you're late? Like,
that was a good one. When you said it, it's like, fuck, I've felt that before,
Yeah.
So I know exactly what people go through, and then it's crazy because that's when you come back, or the next time they do hear about it, it's on the news and it's at $200,000, and they're like, "Fuck!"
You're like,
I didn't think you'd get there.
Right. I think they think too. It's almost like when you're a kid and you're like, "I'm afraid of a vampire," but if I pull my covers over my head, I can't see if there's a vampire out there, so that motherfucker doesn't exist. It's like, I'm just going to pull the wool over my own eyes. I'm just going to stick my head in the sand and pretend it doesn't exist, so that way it can't hurt me.
Yeah, vampire can't get me. That's funny.
Right? It's like, Bitcoin's success can't hurt me if I just simply don't pay attention to it. And then every time someone talks about it, I just, like, shit on them.
Yeah.
Like,
self-defense. That's what it is. It makes sense now, actually.
It's like emotional defense, right? Like,
don't you have people who do that professionally too? Like, isn't Peter Schiff famous for doing that? Dropping gold and on Bitcoin?
I bet that Peter Schiff has been buying Bitcoin for years, dude. Like, I bet it's just one of those shtick, like, he just loves to troll and get the attention, you know what I mean? Because isn't his brother, like, a Bitcoin bull?
I don't know. I don't pay attention to him. I just always, whenever I hear his name, it's in reference to gold good, Bitcoin bad.
Yeah, gold bug. I bet that dude's been accumulating Bitcoin for a long time, because it wasn't that long ago. It was like a couple of weeks ago. I don't know, 3 or 4 maybe. I saw something about how Peter Schiff says, like, Bitcoin really is digital gold. Did you see that?
Do that.
I believe it. Did y'all see the BlackRock interview?
The what? BlackRock? No, I didn't. With Larry Fink?
Yeah, Larry Fink. He had one where he like just openly talked about adding Bitcoin, and every single interview on that same interviewer, it was like a video. It's going around. I wish I could pull it up. Might be able to find it, but he was talking just all this shit about Bitcoin, and then years down the line, he's talking about it. It's like, yeah, we're excited to announce we're now accepting Bitcoin, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, 100%, dude. No, I know what you're talking about now, yeah. No, it wasn't even that long ago. It was like 3 years ago or something. He and his buddies were all fudding the shit out of Bitcoin, and then while they were accumulating, and then as soon as they were done accumulating just ginormous bags, they were like, oh, BlackRock is excited to announce the Bitcoin ETF.
Yes, that's what it was, ETF.
Oh, 100%, dude. They needed more time to accumulate and to buy OTC and shit because they were getting huge amounts.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. That's the people that are flooding our bags, basically.
Yeah, for sure.
Deals getting made.
Stick to the plan.
Being sold. Yeah, exactly. Stick to the plan.
Stay the course. Don't let the old Wall Street TradFi fudsters change your mind. They are converting on a huge scale. People are following the the MicroStrategy kind of adding Bitcoin to the balance sheet. You're starting to see that pay dividends for them.
Yep.
Oh, boys, I got a couple minutes until my cottage cheese wrap is done in the oven, and I can make some lovely dinner. What are you guys having for dinner? You already had it?
Yeah, it's spaghetti.
Ooh, paschetti. Don, what about you?
I don't think I had dinner. I had some bread.
I'm not sure.
You need to go munch, man.
You're in the Matrix.
You logged in.
I forget to eat a lot of days, so that's not good, but it is whatever.
It's not good. You need to start setting some more timers, bro.
Cool. I have two of them telling me to get up and go get food, and I ignore them every single day.
That's something I don't have a problem with. I have to tell myself not to eat so I don't become a giant fat ass. Which so far is working fine, but yeah.
All right, that works. Whatever works.
Whatever works.
You ever go into the gym and try those skin the cats?
No. I don't think so.
Okay. It's Jake. It's a calisthenics thing. You just like hang on the bar and you go in between you like do a almost, I don't know how to explain it, like a flip thing. You just hold the bar and put your legs through your arms and kind of just hang there.
I know
Oh
exactly
my
what you're talking
God.
about.
Never.
I know what you're talking about, yeah. Well, next time I'm going to have to do that.
Something.
Just thinking about you. My wife just made fun of me for saying just thinking about you.
She's
Jealous.
deserved.
Gay! All right, fellas. Well, that was a good convo. Anybody have anything else?
I think I'm good there. Say for all our listeners out there, definitely keep an eye on what happens. 2025 could be a very important year. We're almost halfway over.
Yeah, it certainly looks like it. New all-time highs. Altcoin season could be imminent.
Yep.
Do us all a favor. Get into the Based GigaChad Telegram. Buy the 20-day.
Yep.
That's always a solid area of support, hopefully. So,
Absolutely. I'm going, other than base gig, I'm going all in on abstract and holding Jake responsible if it goes south.
Sounds
Look,
good.
man.
Yeah, buy my Bucci bags, all right?
Check them out. Check them out.
Check them out. All right, fellas.
All right.
Good chatting with you.
Definitely.
Have a good evening.
You too.